Now we will start with the urinary system. Urinary system, or also called as the excretory system, it includes the kidneys, right and left kidney, ureter, urinary bladder, and urethra. Now first we see the kidney structure of the kidney, anatomical structure of the kidney. Kidneys are called as the renes, from which the derivative, that is the renal, we have the derivative renal, and nephros, which we have term as a nephron or nephritis. Kidneys are the pair of the excretory system, excretory organ situated on posterior abdominal wall, one on each side of the vertebral column. They remove waste product of the metabolism, that is excess of water, salt, and maintain the pH of the blood. The kidneys are bean shaped, situated on each side of the vertebral column. If we see the, this is the left kidney and this is the right kidney on each side of the vertebral column, and these are the bean shape. And location of the kidney, we are before we are going to study the feature of the kidney, you must know the location of the kidney. Kidney is located in the epigastric region. This is the epigastric region. This left kidney and right kidney goes into the epigastric region. This part goes into the epigastric region, and then right and left, this is the left lumbar and this is the right lumbar region. Then hypochondriac region, some part goes into the left hypochondriac, left kidney, right hypochondriac in right kidney. Then umbilical region, this is the umbilical. According to the ninth region of the abdomen, kidney is located into the epigastric region, then right and left hypochondriac region, then right, left and right lumbar region, and umbilical region. This is there is located the kidney, location of the kidney, epigastric, hypochondriac, lumbar, and umbilical region. According to in context of the vertebral column, kidney is extended from the upper border of the 12th upper border of the 12th thoracic vertebra to the lower border of the body of the third lumbar vertebra. If we see, this is the 12th thoracic and this is the third lumbar. At the level in between the T12 to L3, right kidney is slightly lower than the left. If you see that this right kidney is slightly lower than the left. Length of the kidney is 11 centimeter. If we see, this is the length, that is 11 centimeter, and breadth of the kidney, that is breadth, that is 6 centimeter. If we see, this is the 6 centimeter, and thickness of the kidney is 3 centimeter, and weight of the kidney in male, that is 150 gram in male, and in female it is about 135 gram in female. These are the weights of the kidney. Then the feature of the kidney. Features, it has two pole, upper pole and lower pole, two border, medial border and lateral border, two surfaces, anterior surface and posterior surface. If we see, this is the upper pole of the both kidney, right and left kidney, these are the upper pole. Then lower pole, these are the lower pole of the right and left kidney. This is the lateral border of the right kidney, lateral border of the left kidney. Medial border, this is the medial border of the kidney. These are the medial border of the kidney, and it has anterior surface and posterior surface. Anterior surface is irregular and posterior surface is flat. To identify the anterior surface and posterior surface, and also to identify the which is the right kidney and left kidney, you must know the structures entering into the hilum, sequence of the structure entering into the hilum. On that we should identify the right kidney and the left kidney. If we see from anterior to posterior, that is the structures into the hilums are renal vein, renal artery, and exact on posterior, that is the renal pelvis. If that, on that basis of the sequence anterior to posterior, we identify the anterior surface of the kidney and right and left kidney. So it should borne in mind that the sequence of the structures enters into the hilum, that is the renal vein anteriorly, then and posterior to the renal vein, renal artery, and posterior to the renal artery, that is the renal pelvis. That this is the sequence of the structures entering into the renal hilum, and on that basis we must know the right and left. We identify the right and left kidney. Then anterior surface, what are the relations of the anterior surface? The relations of the anterior surface of the right kidney and the left kidney are different. On the anterior side of the right kidney, there are the relations. On the upper pole, it is related of the right kidney is related with the right suprarenal gland, and below to the right suprarenal gland on right side, right kidney is related with the liver, that is called as hepatic area. Near to the medial border, that is the area is duodenal area, which is related with the duodenum. And below to the hepatic area, there is a area that is called as colic area, which is related with the colon. And below to the colic area, that is the area, that is jejunal area, which is related with the coils of the jejunum on the right side of the anterior surface of the kidney. These are the relations. Which are the relations? First is the upper pole is related with the suprarenal area, then hepatic area, that is the related with liver, then duodenal area, that is related with the duodenum, colic area related with the colon, and jejunal area related with the jejunum. These are the anterior relations of the right kidney. Then anterior surface of the left kidney is related with the left suprarenal, upper pole of the left kidney is related with the left suprarenal gland, that is upper pole is related to left suprarenal gland. Lateral to the suprarenal gland, relation of the suprarenal gland, there is a gastric area which is related with the stomach. And lateral to the gastric area, that is the splenic area, which is related with the spleen, that is splenic area. And medial to the splenic area, that is there is a pancreatic area, that is related with the pancreas. Below to the pancreatic area, there is a colic area, that means the anterior surface of the left kidney is related with the colon. And lateral to this colic area, this is the jejunal area, and this is the colic area. And medial to the colic area, this is the jejunal area related with the jejunum. Now these are the relations. This is the here is the suprarenal gland, then gastric area, then splenic area, then pancreatic area, then this is jejunal area, and this laterally, that is the colic area. These are the relations of the anterior relations of the posterior and anterior surface of the kidney. Now we will see the posterior surface of the kidney. Posterior relations of the kidney. Both kidneys are related. On the posterior relations are common. Was only difference is that right side kidney is related with right side structure, left side kidney is related with left sided structure. Posterior relations of the both kidney. Posteriorly, it is these are related with the diaphragm. Then this is diaphragm. Then medial and arcuate ligament. Psoas major, right side is right psoas, left to the left psoas. Then quadratus lumbrum muscle. Both kidneys posteriorly related with the quadratus lumbrum. Then transverse abdominis muscle, and both kidneys are related to the subcostal vessels. Then nerves, that is iliohypogastric, subcostal, then ilioinguinal. Only its difference is that right kidney is related with the 12th rib, while the left kidney is related with the 11th and 12th rib. Why is this? Because of right kidney is slightly lower than the left. If we see here, this is the right kidney and this is the left kidney. We see in the right kidney is lower than the left. This is the 11th rib. This is the 12th rib. Now these are the 12th rib. On the left side, left kidney is related with the both 11th and 12th. But on the right side, right kidney is related only with the 12th rib. These are the relations. Right kidney posteriorly related with diaphragm, then 12th rib, psoas major, quadratus lumborum, transverse abdominis muscle, subcostal vessel, subcostal nerve, iliohypogastric nerve, ilioinguinal nerve. Left kidney is related with also the left diaphragm, 11th and 12th rib, psoas major, quadratus lumborum, transverse abdominis, subcostal vessel, subcostal iliohypogastric, ilioinguinal nerves. These are the posterior relations of the kidney. Now we will see the capsule covering of the kidneys. Covering of the kidneys are the first exact lining of the thin membrane lining of the closely lining of the kidney, that is the fibrous capsule first. Then outer to the fibrous capsule there is perirenal fat, renal fascia, and outermost is the pararenal paranephric body. Fibrous capsule, it is the thin layer which is closely lined to the kidney. Then outer to the fibrous capsule there is a perirenal fat which is made up of the adipose tissue. This is the second layer. And third layer, that is the renal fascia. Outer to the perirenal fat there is a renal fascia. It is made up of the two layer. Anterior layer is called as fascia of Told, and posterior layer it is called as fascia of Zucker. These are two layers of the renal fascia. And outer to the renal fascia there is a renal body or paranephric body or fat. It consists of variable amount of the fat. This is the outermost layer of the kidney. These are the coverings or capsule of the kidney. First is the fibrous capsule, second is the perirenal fat, third is the renal fascia, fourth is the paranephric pararenal body, which is the outermost structure of the layer of the kidney. Then if we see the structure, that is coronal section of the kidney, we see here that is an outer reddish brown part, that is the cortex, inner pale, that is the medulla, and renal sinuses. If we see here, this is the outermost part is the cortex and this is the medulla. These are the renal medulla, and renal medulla contain the about 10 conical masses. These are the 10 conical masses, about 10 conical masses. These are called as pyramids. And pyramids open into the, which has the renal papillae. Here is the renal papillae which open into the minor calyces. These are the minor calyces, and minor calyces open into the major calyces, and major calyces is open into the pelvis, and pelvis is continuous with the ureter. And in between these two pyramids there is a renal column, or renal sinuses. In between two pyramids there is a renal sinuses. Then histologically, if we see, the kidney is made up of 1 to 3 million uriniferous tubules, and it contains two parts. One is the secretory part which form the urine, called as the nephron, which is the functional unit of the kidney, and second part, that is the open into the collecting tubule. Many such tubules unite to form ducts of the Bellini, which open into the minor calyces and through the summit of the renal papillae. This collecting tubule open into the minor calyces through the summit of the renal papillae. These are the coronal. This is the coronal section of the kidney. Now, next is the blood supply. One renal artery on each side which is the branch of the abdominal aorta. Kidney is supplied by the renal artery. In 30% of the individual, there may be the accessory renal artery, which is the also the arise from the aorta. Then venous drainage into the renal veins. Then nerve supply by the renal plexus. But renal plexus contain two types of the fiber, sympathetic and afferent fiber. Sympathetic fibers, which are from the 10 thoracic to first lumbar segment. These are the 10 thoracic to first lumbar segment. This is the sympathetic, and afferent fiber from the 10 thoracic segment to T12 thoracic segment. This is the nerve supply. Then anomalies of the kidney. If the kidney have some anomalies, maybe there are maybe the congenital anomalies are the first, the congenital polycystic kidney, that is the non-union of the secretory and collecting part of the kidney. Then horseshoe kidney, that is a fusion of the lower end of the or the lower pole of the both kidney, early position of the kidney. Then unilateral aplasia or hypoplasia, that means the one kidney is absent or one kidney may be smaller size. These are the anomalies of the kidney. If we see here, the lower pole of the kidneys are joined to form, that is the horseshoe kidney. That is lower pole like the structure of the horseshoe. There is a horseshoe kidney. Then next is the aplasia, that means the absent of the one kidney is absent, that is aplasia. This is congenital deformity. And then hypoplasia, that is one kidney is smaller size, that is the hypoplasia. Dysphagia, these are the if we seeing in the slide, these are the all the anomalies of the kidney. These are the anomalies of the kidney. Then the clinical anatomy, that is the renal angle. The renal angle is the angle between the lower border of the 12th rib and outer border of the erector spinae, that is the renal angle. Renal angle, if we see on the diagram, that is the renal angle is, that is the renal angle in between the lower border of the 12th rib. This is the 12th rib, and the erector spinae. If suppose here is the vertebral column, and erector spinae goes from, suppose erector spinae is goes from here. Now we see the erector spinae goes from here. The what is the renal angle? Renal angle, the angle in between the lower border of the 12th rib, and this is the erector spinae. This is the erector spinae, and this is the 12th rib. This angle, this is angle is the renal angle. This angle is the renal angle. That is the renal angle. If we see, this is the renal angle. Now then next is the clinical anatomy, that is the, if we going to the surgical exposure to the kidney, then we see we must bear in mind, that is the danger of opening of the pleural sac. While you are going to the surgical opening of the kidney, at that time you must bear in the mind that the pleural sac must not be exposed, because the pleural sac goes up to the 12th rib. Now we have completed here the structure of the kidney. Okay, thank you.